Hey y'all, it's your girl Zaria, aka Black Phoebe Hollowell. I wanted to start making videos of me ranting, because I'm always ranting on my story and it seems to tick off some people. So I'm gonna get famous off my motherfucking rant. Oop, shit, can't curse. But I feel like I want to just talk about different topics the same way I talk about them on my YouTube channel. And I feel like I like discussions, I like debates, and I like talking about things that need to be discussed. So I think one thing that I want to talk about today is my experiences as a dark-skinned woman dating and dating outside my race, like dating in general and dating outside of my race. So I don't really know how to start. My dating experience hasn't always been great. It hasn't been the best, and it hasn't been positive. I never really had a boyfriend. I can't say I've been with guys for a long period of time, but I have never had an actual boyfriend that committed to me and only me. And it sucks, but I don't know, shit happens. So my experiences as a dark-skinned woman is hard. I feel like as a dark-skinned woman we have to work 3 times harder to be seen as attractive, or we have to work three times harder to be, I don't even know, we're always gonna have that thought in the back of our head, do he even like black girls? Do he even like dark-skinned girls? I feel like that question, do he even like black girls, is for dark-skinned women in general, because when you're a lighter-skinned black woman, you're seen as more attractive, and I don't think that conversation really comes up as much with lighter-skinned black women with dating outside their race, because I think that guys outside of your race will most definitely lean towards a lighter-skinned black person more than a darker-skinned black person. And I'm gonna say women in general. No, I'm gonna say women. I'm gonna say women because I've had a conversation with a friend who's tried to basically say that dark-skinned women and darker-skinned men have the same challenges when we don't. Darker-skinned men are seen more as macho and masculine and are fetishized in a way that darker-skinned women aren't. Darker-skinned men, think Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian seems to only like darker-skinned black men. The only lighter-skinned black man that she has dated was her husband, Chris Humphries, and she didn't really like him. The darker-skinned men in her life she seems to be with in the long term, which is Damon Thomas, Reggie Bush, Kanye West. She seems to fetishize darker-skinned men. Darker-skinned men are seen as more macho and big, strong. When a darker-skinned woman, that doesn't work in our favor. When darker-skinned women are seen as, I don't know how to explain it. Darker-skinned women aren't seen as, the same way a darker-skinned man is, because let's talk about it, because I have a lot of people in my life who are lighter-skinned women who like to date darker-skinned men, but will sit here and bash a dark-skinned woman. A dark-skinned man is seen as attractive in their eyes, but they feel superior to a darker-skinned woman. So we really need to discuss that. My experiences haven't been great dating in general. I always have to question, does he like darker skinned girls? And that sucks because it really sucks. Dating outside of my race, I've always attracted. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's unpack this. A lot of black men have been commenting on it lately about how I like to date Hispanic guys. And they insinuate that I don't like black men. That is not the case. I like all men. I do not have a preference. I feel preference is rooted in colorism and is rooted in texturism, colorism, everything. I do not have a preference. I just seem to attract Hispanic men more, and I just go for whoever I think is cute. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have issues within my own self, and I do need to solve that, and I do need to heal that trauma. But the black men in my life have not been the best to me. They have been abusive. They have been harmful, colorist towards me, anti-black towards me, in my own circle. And that's not the reason why I messed around with Hispanic guys. That's not the reason why. I like all men. I like all men actually, but just talking about like this kind of choked me up. But it just seems like people try to make it seem like I just like only one certain type of guy when I really don't. It's the other way around. I seem not to attract black men as much as being a darker skinned black girl. You know, in our community, in the black community, like being lighter skinned with a different hair texture or finer hair texture is more fetishized and more glamorized in our community. So people try to make it seem like I just only like one type of guy when I don't. But now let me talk about my experience. My experiences dating outside of my race. Like I said, I never really had like a real boyfriend, but if I did have a boyfriend, it would only last a couple of days. And all my title boyfriends have been Hispanic. And my first boyfriend was like someone that I grew up with. Boyfriend, like quotation boyfriend, because I'm just saying I haven't been in a real committed relationship. My first boyfriend was a guy, a boy who I grew up with, a neighbor, next door neighbor. He was fine. He never made me feel inferior. He never made me feel any type of way. We were kids, so like just always liking outside of my race. I have to deal with colorism too. I have to deal with anti-blackness too, especially in the Hispanic community. It's a lot of anti-blackness. So the guys that I always dated, I always have to feel like, what if he doesn't like me because I'm black? Or what if he doesn't like me because I'm dark? There was one person that I'm not going to name. There's one guy that I liked in middle school that I felt like he didn't fully liked me because I was black, or he was ashamed of me because I was black. And he seemed to give more attention to a classmate that we had who honestly wasn't even cute. I ain't gonna lie, but her features might be perceived as cute. She had lighter skin, she had coily hair, and she had colored eyes. So like he always seemed to give her more attention, it would seem like he had no. It seemed like he didn't have to hide his attraction to her because she is considered more attractive societal wise. So he just always seemed like he tried to hide his likeness for black women, just in front of his friends. And it's funny because I actually brought it up to him in a couple of, in the future actually, we're gonna get to that. So in 7th grade, I used to go through a lot of stuff, with colorism, not feeling good, not feeling like I was attractive or not, not feeling like I was attractive or anything. So that maybe that was a lot of projecting as well. But I'm not only projecting because one of my friends, who's not my friend anymore, she tried to get at him, and he told the person that tried to help her get at him that he didn't like black girls. So my suspicions were confirmed. He do like to hide the fact that he likes black girls, or he'll only say that he's attracted to a black girl, but he would never be romantically involved with a black girl. Just being attracted to a black girl is not the same thing as being romantically involved with them. Just because you think they're attractive doesn't mean that are you gonna take this girl home? Are you gonna take her to your parents? Are you gonna do these things for her? No. So that was not, we're gonna get on to him, but we're gonna talk about my other partner. My person that I had messed around with for 2 years. He was very racist towards me. He was very anti-black. He was colorist as well towards me. He would make comments about my skin tone and stuff like that. So it was always seemed like if he would never want to go public with me. And one of his girlfriends who he had as a girlfriend was black too, but she was a lighter skinned black girl. She's not that light, but she's still light, okay? So it's just it's like the same story. Even if you're black, if you're Hispanic, it's the same story. Me always feeling like I have to be twice as better to be considered attractive. Like with him, who I'm talking about, my partner of 2 years, it seemed like he had no problem making the people of his own ethnicity his significant others, while me, I had to hide in the shadows and not be seen, And I deal with that a lot as a darker skinned black girl. I deal with that a lot. like the other guys that I mess with, they will. I did a YouTube video about this a few weeks ago. I basically coined the term the Leonardo DiCaprio effect. Basically, like a non-black person will date a black girl or black person behind the scenes, but will never put them in the show front of their life. They will never be the ones that they walk down the red carpets with, or basically they'll just use black women as sexual objects. Like, and that's how I always feel with the guys in my life. Like, they'll have a non-black girl as their main girlfriend, who they show, who they post, who they are openly willing to admit they have feelings for in public and to their friends. But when it comes to a black girl, that's not the same. Or I'm gonna say a darker skinned black girl, okay? So I had that person. Let's go back to the middle school person. I told y'all I always felt like that, and my suspicions were confirmed. So recently we actually got around to messing around, right? And I basically just told him that I feel like he had cut me off, right? But the person he cut me off for was a non-black girl. That's my point. Like, you have, like, that's literally my point. I kept trying to explain to that person that it seems like he only likes black girls as sexual objects, but when it comes down to actually wanting to be with someone, it's always going to be a non-black girl. And that's how I feel that is a thing with non-black people, and it is a thing with it was a thing with black men as well. They'll always choose someone who's lighter, or someone who has curly hair or whatever over a darker skinned black girl. A lot of people don't realize it takes black women to be oiled up and to be like oiled up and to have their hair in a certain type of way or whatever to be considered attractive. We always have to work 2 times harder. It's just like, y'all, it's just a lot. Like, it's always like, I don't know. Going back to what I said, the Leonardo DiCaprio effect. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio has dated black women and dark-skinned women. He has dated, I think he may have dated Naomi Campbell. But not all the people know that. And you know why? Because he's the woman that he always walks down the aisles, the one he always walks down the red carpet with, or it's going to be a blonde, skinny, white woman. He tries to keep up a certain image, that makes him look good. And it's funny that I'm about to bring this up. My friend recently told me that Idris Elba is colorist, and I was like, what you mean Idris Elba? Idris Elba is from Daddy's Little Girl by Tyler Perry. He's in Takers. He's in I can't remember else. He's in a lot of stuff. She said that a publicist came forward, or his ex-girlfriend told. Okay, go back. She said that the ex-girlfriend had came forward and told him that his publicist was telling him that a darker skinned woman won't look good in his image, won't make him look good, and won't make him, like, his persona be, I don't know, like, it won't look good in his favor. So supposedly he dumped the girl. So that's what I was just saying. Like, people just don't understand how hard it is to date as a darker skinned black person. Like I said, you gotta work 3 times harder. You have to be oiled up, or you have to, your hair has to be a certain way, stuff like that. And then people don't realize that when darker skinned women have like a thinner or like coily hair texture, they're considered attractive too, more attractive than a person with like 4B or 4C hair. The point is, y'all, it's just hard out here dating, as a darker skinned black girl. You never know who really likes you and who just like you for like sexual, just like sexual way, just in a sexual way. Just saying that. Sorry. Like I was saying, like, I basically, back to the middle school person, I basically told him that he only likes black girls for show. Well, not even for show, just like in a sexual way. I don't think you'll bring a black girl home. I don't think that's the case. And then he tried to gaslight me and tell me, oh, well, if you thought I was going to take you home, then you're tripping, and I don't think you're the girl I'll take home. I'm sorry, y'all. I was like, I'm not even talking about me. It's okay. If you don't like me, whatever. Like, you're lost. Like, I'm amazing. You're lost. I'm talking about, from your patterns and the stuff that you tell me vocally, how are you going to get mad at me making an assumption from stuff that you told me out of your own mouth and stuff that I heard you say out of your own mouth? Like, it's not making a